If I told you that a 12-year-old could pilot a plane, you'd probably think I was crazy. But that's exactly what the Civil Air Patrol does. It's training the next generation of aviation enthusiasts. And here in Hawaii, the Civil Air Patrol is also key in times of emergency.
You never know what the emergency is going to be, when it's going to come. And here in Hawaii, we never know what direction it's going to come from. But the Civil Air Patrol, the people in the Civil Air Patrol, prepare, train, and are ready to respond to whatever the emergency is, in whatever direction it comes from. That's what we're here for.
Civil Air Patrol in Hawaii was established in 1946. The first wing commander was Colonel Ben Dillingham. The wing has changed over the years because of the missions. The primary mission of the Civil Air Patrol in Hawaii is the tsunami warning mission.
If there is an inbound tsunami, we have a mission in coordination with the state to try to augment their warning systems, their sirens.
So there are pre-designated routes that we fly, pre-designated calls that we make over the PA systems that are built into the planes to be able to tell people a tsunami is coming, you need to evacuate, go to high ground. And then our pilots are trained to fly a very specific route very quickly. We also have communications, radios, different kinds of equipment on the different islands ready to respond in an emergency. And an emergency might be a hurricane, a tsunami, a fire, a flood. Hawaii has different kinds of emergencies than other parts of the mainland, for example, the volcano. Every time you do an emergency mission, it always pulls on your heartstrings in both ways. You're very sorry for the loss, whatever it is, whether it was loss of life, loss of property, loss of animals and pets, loved ones. And there's a balance to be had of, while something may have been lost, we were able to prevent or save or help something else from it being worse.
The morning after the Hurricane Iniki, I was up and flying for damage assessments. 2 days after the hurricane, I flew a baby and a mother from Lihue to Honolulu for medical treatment. The baby was in bad shape, and the air ambulance wasn't available, so Civil Defense asked the Civil Air Patrol to transport the mother and baby to Honolulu. Yeah, very emotional, especially after Iniki. What could we do in damage assessment outside of saying everything is flat? It was terrible.
When you are responding to a situation that could be very bad for somebody, some property, some place, you balance those emotions with the respect and the aloha kindness that you get from people when they realize you really are there to help, and you really are there on your own time. We're unpaid, so we're all volunteers, and yet we train and prepare and we push ourselves to be able to make a difference in the moment when it happens. And then when that moment happens and when the search is going on, we really feel for the people who are involved. And sometimes it's our own people, and sometimes it's our neighbors, and we really like to talk about serving others. That's really what we do it for, to be able to help and to use our own skills to be prepared for the moment, for that help.
For search and rescue, or for any of the disaster assessments, we try to make sure that everyone is looked at, making sure that they're okay. And we will try to help facilitate the counties and the state to make sure that they're recognizing where the assistance is required. The other part is, it's really important for the future of Hawaii. So Cadet Programs basically involves 12 to 18-year-olds, well, technically 12 to 21-year-olds, and it gives them an opportunity to look at different phases of flight or different things related to the aerospace industry. So for example, how does a wind tunnel work? How does an airplane fly? How do balloons fly? They can get involved in model rocket launches, radar-controlled aircraft, small unmanned aerial systems. We actually also give them up to 5 flights in a Cessna aircraft, small single-engine aircraft, or and also up to 5 flights in gliders. It's a really good exposure for them to see, do they really like that career field? Is that something they want to go into?
And as they join, then they can start ranking up. And rank is just like the Air Force. It's doing their physical training, doing a leadership test, doing drill, and then also character development about morals and leadership. Drill is the basic how to march.
All right, here we go, jumping jacks.
Physical training, it is physical training. They have to do a mile run in a certain amount of time based on their age. It's a healthy, what they call a healthy zone fitness. How many push-ups, how many sit-ups, and a stretch, a sit and reach. So, and that's part of their growth. So it gets them off the couch. Also, we do emergency service training. Like a hurricane, we take pictures, the plane surveillance, everything, whatever we're tasked with. They do robotics. They do cyber patriot if we're computers being attacked, so how to stop that. They get to learn that. They get to learn aerospace, everything, and learning how to be a pilot. Before you get your license, you can be soloing.
We put them in the air no matter what. If you're a cadet and you want to fly, we put you in the air. Part of the aerospace education effort, at least in the Hawaii wing, is to provide ground school or try and get cadets excited about trying to get their private pilot's license, or getting them prepared for maybe more direct aviation degrees or interests. So it really pays off in that sense, that just the exposure and the skills that they learn. When you watch one of those cadets that you've been teaching for a year or a year and a half or however long, sometimes some of them are faster, and the minute they put on, you know, the real officer epaulets and they stand up, it's like every single one of them I've seen do that, all of a sudden they just kind of do this a little bit. Like something about it just snaps, and all of the work that they put into it turns them into a different person. Like their character development is palpably visible, and you're just kind of like, well, this is cool. Definitely, I get my reward. No one's going to tell me that I contributed to that, but I get the reward from it, so I like that. That's good stuff.
When I joined high school, I joined our school's Civil Air Patrol program. What I've learned since then is leadership, being able to public speak, talk in front of various amounts of people, presentation skills. That's on the leadership side. With aerospace, learned about the physics of flying, different things that the aircraft can do, and it also inspired me to pursue my private pilot's license, which I'm currently doing right now. So just learning about the aspect of aviation was a huge part of it.
So when I joined CAP, I was kind of a hot mess, didn't really know what to do. But when I joined, through the well-trained other cadets and through some time and hard work, it has been a completely life-changing experience. I've now learned plenty of leadership skills, public speaking skills. When it comes to aerospace, I've learned amazing amounts. I've gotten to fly, and I would not know where I'd be right now without Civil Air Patrol.
Personally, I would like to join the military as a pilot when I get older, and I think that Civil Air Patrol will help me a lot because I already know some of the skills that I would need to know, and it will help guide me through this process.
You know, I grew up here. It's challenging to find a decent paying job. The aerospace career field gives a lot of opportunities, and not just as pilots. You could be an aviation mechanic, air traffic controller, you could become an aerospace engineer, you could be a computer programmer slash network engineer. There's a whole lot of different areas. And again, it helps give the young folks, 12 to 18-year-olds, an opportunity to explore those career opportunities before they sink a lot of money into it. And so again, it gives them a chance to find a job here in Hawaii that could potentially allow them to live here without having to worry about getting 2 or 3 additional jobs. So again, it's great for the current capabilities for saving lives, as well as, you know, let's take care of our descendants to make sure that they can enjoy a healthy, fulfilling life here in Hawaii. My hope for the future for the Hawaii Wing is to continue to grow, to continue to help the people of Hawaii, and to, again, try to help the youth to make sure that they have a great future here in Hawaii, pursuing a passion that they love.